So, yesterday, this is Brendan, by the way, he's going to help me review this. We went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a film I knew absolutely nothing about.
I only knew a little bit about it just because of what I've seen from people and what they've said, so I came into it pretty much the same as you.
I mean, I've always, with all of these Marvel movie reviews that I've done, I've always said, I know nothing about superheroes. I knew zero about Guardians. Didn't know anything. I didn't know there was a comic series, really.
I knew that there was a comic series, I just knew very little about it.
So I went in not really expecting much other than it was supposed to be really funny, and that's pretty much what it is. And it's really good. I mean, it's got one of the biggest openings of this year, I think, is what they're saying. It's very, it's very fast-paced, very witty kind of humor. Every serious moment is pretty much broken up by something funny.
Almost immediately, yeah.
Yeah, almost immediately. So I can't tell if it's not taking itself seriously, or
I think it kind of is. I think it's just kind of having fun with itself.
Pretty much, yeah. So cast for this, and we've got they pulled out a really great cast for this film. We got Chris Pratt, who in recent years has been making a pretty decent name for himself. Zoe Saldana, who has been owning sci-fi over the last few years. I mean, Star Trek and Avatar, and I'm sure a couple others that I can't think of right now. She's been all over sci-fi. We got Bradley Cooper. We got Vin Diesel. We got, I forget Drax's actor's name.
Well, he's a professional wrestler, Bautista.
Bautista, yeah. Bautista. We got John C. Reilly, Lee Pace, Karen Gillan, Michael Rooker, Glenn Close. They pulled some great names for this film.
I'm glad you remembered all the names because there are so many names I couldn't even...
There's so many huge names in this movie. Benicio del Toro, there's another one, although he was at the end of Thor 2 in the Stinger. They brought him in. Josh Brolin as Thanos. So, yeah, Thanos is in this movie. He's not just a Stinger scene at the end, he actually has a part in this film.
Yeah, he has a bit more of a prominent...
tiny one. He speaks in this one. But yeah, so Thanos is... It actually sheds more light on the Thanos thing because on Earth, it's nobody really mentions him, but out in the universe, it's pretty implied that the universe knows about Thanos.
Aware of, yeah.
They're aware of Thanos. They know he exists. He just hasn't reached where everyone else is yet. You think Asgard knows about him? Because I don't know anything about that. You think Asgard would?
If I knew the lore of the
yeah, true.
If I knew the lore of the entire universe a bit more, I'd be able to give a better answer. But who knows?
Yeah.
As far as us as viewers, it doesn't seem like they're entirely aware of.
Yeah.
They know there's something going on, but don't quite.
So we got the plot is that Lee Pace's character is against this treaty between two different worlds, and he basically wants to go out on his own and destroy this planet. And with him, he brings along a psychotic cyborg creature that Karen Gillan plays.
Technically the two daughters of Thanos.
Yeah, not real daughters, but
one was, I believe.
Nebula?
Yeah, Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula. Okay. Yeah. So Karen Gillan, who can do any dirty thing she wants to me, really. I mean it. Goddamn.
Back to the plot.
Karen Gillan was great in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
She was. And the best part is, unlike most superhero movies, she actually lives at the end.
Yeah. I'm yeah.
Yeah, which is
good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Spoilers, by the way. I'll put a little tag at the beginning, but yeah, there's spoilers in this video. I think actually superhero movies have gotten better at that in recent years. They're not quick to automatically kill off their villains. I know, Man of Steel isn't a good example, but in Marvel movies at least, because well, not the Mandarin, but Loki's still alive.
And they're doing a good job about not making it ridiculous. How it seems like they're feeding the dead, and hey, I'm back to life. They're not doing it like that. So I'm glad.
No, well, they did in Thor 2, which I kind of had an issue with the Loki thing.
Oh yeah.
But nobody bought that.
No. That was kind of whole predetermined.
Yeah.
Anyways, off track.
Yes. So this cast works really well together. The best parts of the movie I thought were Rocket and Groot. I mean, every scene the two of them are together.
I mean, I think this movie was more about the interactions of that group of characters. Them come, this group
all of them coming together.
This group of literally the biggest losers coming together and becoming. We got a Quill who's looking just to sell off the sphere thing. He doesn't know what it is or what it does. We got what's Zoe Saldana's character name? Now that you said that, no, I can't remember.
God damn it! Gamora. Gamora. Yes. Okay. We got Gamora who's looking to sell the sphere herself to get away.
The collector, no less.
To the collector, no less, which is Benicio del Toro. To get away from Ronan, Lee Pace's character. We got Rocket and Groot who are looking for Quill for a bounty, and we got Drax who wants revenge on Ronan and Thanos. These are our 5. This is our A team right here. We got
like our X team.
This is the A team we've assembled for this film. We have a Han Solo wannabe, a green woman, a
built pretty much rebuilt assassin though.
A rebuilt assassin.
Like she's built to be a machine.
We have the muscular cousin of Fantastic Four's The Thing. We have a small scaled down version of an ant, and we have a talking homicidal raccoon.
Genius homicidal talking raccoon.
Genius because that raccoon comes up with some interesting stuff. But this, if I was assembling a team to take on one of the gods of the galaxy or the known universe, this would not be my team.
I don't think it'd be anyone's team.
No, but this is the team we've got, and I think that's kind of the point of the movie. Yeah, is that this is not the team you would take into war, but it's the one that we've got, and it's the one we have to work with. And okay, let's make the best of this.
I think just kind of going over my main qualm with this movie, the plot itself. It was that's the thing. The strong point of this film was all the characters and their interactions. The plot itself, to me, was very lackluster.
Yeah, it's not it's nothing special.
For the people who really like the lore and who like all the other movies and how they come together, this is one is kind of
this is very isolated.
This is what uses it to bind all the Stinger stuff together. Yeah. You have stuff with Thanos, it's a more central thing.
The Collector.
The Collector is a bit more explained, and
the Infinity Stones.
So I get why they did it, but at the same time, it seemed like they were just using that to kind of pull that all together.
Yeah. It kind of hinted at it more.
It wasn't really anything all too amazing of a conflict or a plot or whatever.
No, not really.
It was your typical revenge.
If you want to really nitpick a bit, it's the same plot as Thor 2.
I mean, yeah.
The guy even kind of looks like Christopher Eccleston's character. It is essentially a funnier version of Thor 2, basically. But whereas I didn't really like Thor 2, I did like this film.
Because the character interactions were amazing.
Yeah,
and that's what made this film.
Yeah, and I think if this had been the first Thor movie where, it wasn't the established characters, it might have done all right. The fact that we knew these characters, and we already really kind of developed Thor as far as he could go as a character. And, with that awkward romance that doesn't go anywhere. This film, they do have one romantic bit between Quill and Gamora.
I think they worked a lot better than other
attempts
at romance.
It did work because right at the very end there, she's like, "I know what you do. Yeah. I'm not stupid." But it worked very well. Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Exactly. It just immediately it was one part where you're like, "Oh God, they're really gonna do it," and then she does that, and it's like. Okay, there you go.
But for all of that, the plot was kind of lackluster. I did like that they did do that in explaining the Infinity Stones and
because
we all know they're all leading towards.
Oh no, of course they've been hinting at it since Avengers.
Now we have. I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but they believe that Loki's staff had one of them.
The scepter, yeah. Because
clearly,
because at the end of Winter Soldier, they showed the scepter in Hydra's.
Oh, that's right.
So clearly they have something for
that one. Obviously, the Tesseract.
The Tesseract.
The Ether in Thor 2, and now
and the Infinity
spoilers.
Stone itself.
Spoilers. The orb was one of the Infinity.
Yeah, basically
as well.
Yeah.
But that makes me why I think that the scepter is one is because at the end of Thor 2, when they had the part with the collector,
right.
I said, "Oh, now I have 2 in my." He states that he has 2 in his collection. Well, at this point, you're only ever really officially introduced to 2. Asgard still has a tesseract, so that means the ether. He might have the staff, and then that would mean that the tesseract is with Asgard, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Because he said, "Oh, I have 2," and they specifically said, "Oh, we can't have 2 of the same kind of thing in Asgard," so that means 3, and then this would be the 4th one. So that means there is.
Okay. All right. So that would kind of make sense a bit.
Did he say there were 6 or 7 stones?
I can't remember.
6. I think he said 6. That means there's.
Usually these kind of things come in 7.
Was it 7? I remember.
Usually these things.
There was that brief description where he was explaining.
Yeah.
All the different.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely expands upon the lore more, but at the same time, it's very isolated because whereas you got Iron Man and Captain America and Thor all over here, they're kind of slowly but surely coming together. Guardians are still very isolated from them.
That's another thing too, is that those 2 kind of they're the same world, but they're so contrastingly different.
Oh yeah,
it's just like how has Earth been isolated from all of this going on for so long?
Yeah, it's kind of there's this big wide universe out there, and it is kind of difficult to believe that Earth is like Earth.
Especially since he came from Earth.
Yeah, yeah. I think at some point they're going to have the Guardians meet up with them.
I mean, it seems like it's kind of it all hints toward leading towards.
Yeah, eventually they're probably going to because
who knows what they're going to do?
Because
with Avengers 2.
Everybody has a boner with crossovers and stuff.
Who knows what they're going to do with Avengers 2?
I don't think they're going to do that for the Avengers 2.
No, I know, but who knows what they're going to do in terms of the tied together universe, and who knows what they're going to do with the second Guardians movie?
Yeah, true.
They already announced the second one.
Yeah, and I mean. They've already got dates stretching into like 2029 or something.
They've got this all.
Yeah, they've got everything. But let's see. As far as the comedy goes, I mean, I think everyone's favorite part was in the prison cell when Drax throws Rocket the gun, and Rocket's just slow mo like, "Oh yeah," and then just like starts gunning it down Al Capone style, and it's the most amusing part of the entire movie. And why Rocket's like the best character, because it's just this little raccoon with a Tommy gun, or whatever the hell this thing is.
Just some kind of...
Yeah, just mowing everybody down, asking for a prosthetic leg, not even needing it. He just wants to see it. He just wants it.
Funny.
It's funny. I gotta say this, I knew Bradley Cooper was the raccoon. I did not recognize his voice at all.
Yeah.
No.
I just because I knew.
I knew, but I obviously knew it was Bradley Cooper, but I was listening to it like... If I didn't know this was Bradley Cooper, I wouldn't have recognized him.
I don't think I would have recognized Vin Diesel's voice saying, "I am Groot."
Well, Vin Diesel has a very distinct voice.
True, but it's just like, I mean, the only lines you have are I am Groot.
Vin Diesel,
in that order.
Vin Diesel, for the second time in his life, is playing an anthropomorphic, sentient being, and everybody loves him. Like, first it was the Iron Giant way back at the beginning of the millennia. And now we've got this tree that literally only says 5 words the entire movie. I am Groot, and at the very end he said, "We are Groot."
That's 4.
We are. I am.
Oh.
Yeah, 5 words. Yeah. It says 5 words the entire film. Then again, Iron Giant's vocabulary wasn't that big either, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I don't remember his vocabulary being that big.
Can we go over my favorite aspect of this
movie?
Go
for it. Yep, I know
the music.
The music, yep.
I love it. I love it when a movie can take music that's actually physically playing in like the movie itself. Like the characters can hear this music and they use it as a soundtrack. Even more than that, the whole thing with his tape player, the tape itself, it became its own entity. It became its own thing, its own character.
I mean, James Gunn did this movie, right? Like that was the director, I believe. It was James Gunn. I'm not really familiar with his other works. I know who he is, and I'm not too familiar with his filmography though. So I don't know if this is a recurring thing he does.
But like, there's multiple ways you can introduce music into a film. You know, you have music that plays that the audience can hear, but it doesn't. It's not something that the characters themselves hear or interact with.
Right.
Or you can have it physically. You can have sounds that play that aren't necessarily music, so to say, but they add to a scene.
And then actually, like this, what they did with the tape and the mixtape.
The mixtape,
and how they played it into every scene and how it was this whole thing.
It was its own character, really.
It became its own character.
It was its own character, just to have these
old
old 80s, these old 70s, 80s tunes in the year 2014. I think this takes place in 2014. Because it was the beginning of the film takes place in 1988, and then 26 years later.
Yeah, so I mean,
it would be
its current date with all the rest of the Marvel universe. So that
pretty much, yeah.
It's all current date.
Yeah,
relative to us now.
But yeah, so it's just this mixtape of all these old 70s, 80s tunes that he just plays on repeat over and over for almost 30 years now. But it really gives it its own breath of life into the film. I mean, the whole opening bit where he's dancing and he grabs the lizard and he's singing into the lizard, and it's like...
I mean, it literally, almost every single part of this movie, it becomes its own character. I mean, I'm not going to spoil, that one part towards the end.
Which bit?
Where he's dancing.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's a funny scene.
It's a prominent entity throughout the entire film.
I know, but it's just...
love when the film can do that, because... I always give this an example. Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs, yeah.
Tarantino always does that with his music, but specifically with Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
that radio station.
Oh God, what is
KBI,
that? KBI.
K-Billy. Super Sounds of the 70s.
70s, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and through the entire thing, it's this thing that's kind of...
It's its own thing in the movie.
I mean, with the ear cutout scene, it was prominently there.
Oh God, yeah.
So it's always there, and they're always interacting with it, maybe not... directly,
yeah.
But it adds
a lot.
It becomes its own soundtrack.
Shame couldn't do that.
I love when a film does
I know. But yeah, Tarantino has a habit of doing that, which is great.
Oh yeah, no, he does that for all of this. He loves doing
not
that
Django.
music.
Not Django.
Oh, true. But he loves doing that with his music.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
What else? What can we say about it? Do we want to talk about the stinger at the end?
No.
We don't want to talk about it?
I mean, let's leave that special nugget.
That special nugget. I will say this, though. You're not going to expect it. If you're going in not knowing anything about this film, you're not going to expect it. Do a favor to yourself and not know going into this film.
Technically, the one that was not really the stinger, but what they had at the end with Groot.
Yeah,
that was
fun,
adorable as hell.
Yeah, normally they use
the real stinger is just
usually the stingers are left to like kind of tie in everything, but this one no.
Well, I mean the one for the second sting for the Avengers wasn't really.
No, the first one was.
Yeah.
The first one was Thanos. I mean, overall, I mean this is a fun movie. I mean, it's not like coming off the heels of Avengers 2. Which was just super serious,
Avengers 2.
No, not Avengers 2. Sorry, Captain America 2. God, Captain America 2, which was super serious. Shield is actually the enemy, kind of deal, or is actually Hydra, I should say. I mean, I'd say spoilers, but I mean, both the movie and Agents of Shield have done it by now, so you should probably already know. But I mean, that coming off that whole revelation, where now our greatest asset is now completely scattered and thrown into the wind. To just kind of go from that to a lighthearted,
and you completely isolate all that's going on and go completely way out into the universe.
Yeah, just to 5 misfits who are just doing whatever and out in the middle of the galaxy. It's a fun, relaxing kind of thing. You don't freak out too much about it. Things are going to be all right probably. It's definitely a film I recommend watching.
I mean, for all the, it's kind of lackluster on the main, like, for what you think of a superhero movie, it's kind of lackluster on a lot of those elements.
Yeah.
But that's fine because
that's the point
all the characters are so great.
And characters are all great.
Everyone is, like I said, it makes that movie. It makes this movie.
Yeah, I can't really say I had a least favorite character in this film.
No, I mean, they all had the...
I mean, John C. Reilly, for the few seconds he got, was brilliant. I mean...
Which characters was
he? Was the cop.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, John C. Reilly. Yeah, for the few seconds he got, he was funny. Glenn Close only really got a handful.
Names mixed up again.
Benicio del Toro was pretty funny, especially with the stinger. Although I actually, just now that here, I do have one qualm, and that was during the scene where they're explaining the Infinity Stones, and that girl just comes up and takes it. And I'm just like...
Spoiler, but...
I'm not going to say what happens when she does, but it just felt so... abrupt.
Yeah, and
out of place.
It didn't seem like the collector would have really allow.
Yeah, it wasn't like
he's so intent on these stones. Yeah. It's just like how is he just gonna let this person that?
Yeah, it honestly was very jarring almost, just because it just this whole explanation and suddenly it's just like ah.
The one thing I do want to know more about that they brief touched towards the end, explaining about Quinn's. Family background. I don't want to say too much.
Oh, but the dad.
The whole thing with the dad. Yeah. I want to know what that's all about.
Yeah, that's interesting, because apparently Michael Rooker's character knew him.
Really?
Or knew about... Well, he heard the bit then. It's like, yeah, his dad was an asshole.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently they were supposed to be taking him to his dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is like...
Which, by the way... speaking of the scrappers...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah we have to talk about Michael Rooker for a second.
I love him.
Michael Rooker... plays the same character everything he does,
but does it amazingly.
He's so good at it. There's a scene where he has this.
That weapon is the coolest.
He has this like
weapon
wand / spear,
like little arrow thing.
Little arrow thing. He controls by whistling. He just whistles and it does whatever he wants. And there's a scene where he's cornered by like 20 dudes. He just whistles, the thing just zooms around, goes right through everyone, goes through a ship, takes them all out, and then he just puts it in his pocket and he walks right off. That character. Badass moment of the movie goes to Michael Rooker for that scene. Oh man.
I think I loved him in every movie I've ever seen.
You can't know. Michael Rooker is such a fun actor and such a fun character.
He's having fun with it.
Oh, he's having a blast. He's having a blast doing this stuff. Painting himself up blue.
What's the last thing we saw him in?
Walking Dead, probably.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean he does a lot of like. I think he's more of a TV actor than he does.
I've seen him in.
I've seen him in films. Yeah, he's.
I'd have to look up later.
Very distinct voice he has. Yeah, he's got that raspy. He did a zombie map in Black Ops 1, I think.
Was he in Domino?
I don't remember Domino.
Oh, okay.
So
I had to look it up. Yeah. It's not off track here.
But yeah, I think that's just about it.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, yeah,
I'm sure there's stuff that people who know the verse will.
Yeah, correct us, please. Yeah, this is our review / discussion. I'll make sure to put that in the title: review / discussion.
Of two people who aren't familiar with.
We're not really familiar with Guardians, and even my knowledge of the entire Marvel universe is lacking. But we enjoyed it, and you'll probably, I think. Fans or non-fans will probably go into this movie and think, "Yeah, this is a good movie."
Yeah, I think it's
very.
I can't really say much. We can't really say much for the fans themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
but from what I've seen, they don't adjust it. From what I've seen of the fans' reaction.
From what I've heard, yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, it's a very accessible film. Is what I'm getting at here. It's very accessible to anyone. Yeah, that's about it for that. So, last thoughts. I thought it was really good.
Very solid. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I already,
Yeah, we went over. All right, but
very enjoyable.
Yeah, that's about it. So, bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, a favorite, subscribe to the channel, post it on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Reddit, something awful, spray paint on buildings, make a flag of it, get it tattooed in your forearm, get it branded into your forehead. This is Six Look Productions saying keep the spirit of the movies alive.